And good morning, Ernie Villa here, Planning Ops Trainee here with California Incident Management Team 5. Coming to you here with the Windy Fire update for September 29th. The fire currently is 87,901 acres, and we've bumped up in containment to 25% currently. So we'll go ahead and get started with the update. So go ahead and start off here in the Ponderosa area. We were able to gain some additional containment here coming out towards the Needle Rock Road. Coming down on the east side here out towards Lloyd Meadow Road, everything's looking fairly good. We are looking into some more containment to advance out towards Lloyd Meadow Road. And then everything from the Lloyd Meadow Road all the way along the fire's edge here, everything's holding in place currently. We're continuing to do some additional work out here in Camp Witsit area to mop up and secure for structure defense in this area. And then coming back in, this is all direct along the main line here, coming back into Mountain 99. We have done additional work coming out on the back side of Johnsondale here. We continue to mop up and secure this edge coming out to basically the south end of the community. And then this piece kind of coming along the eastern side of the fire here near Flynn Canyon, just west of Fairview. IR signature showed very little heat, but it was probably due to the cooler temperatures that we experienced the last few days. We are expecting to have warmer conditions coming in the next few days. So we'll be keeping an eye on this section here. Crews were able to, and engines were able to come into Fairview and a lot of the structures right here at Roads Ends. We've started the structure prep on those areas. And then as you move south, the fire continues to be a little bit active along the edge. We did have fire crews that were able to make access along the Tobias Creek Trail. They've walked up to the fire's edge here with those cooler conditions, and they're assessing the viability of being able to go direct on some of this line here. Some of the stuff between Spees Ridge out to Tobias, crews aren't going to be able to get in there, so we're formulating a plan with what that we can do to kind of stop the fire spread moving to the east and south. Coming back in further out here towards the south, fire is still pretty active as it comes back up onto the 16 road here. And then we did have crews come back out to Baker Point the other day. We did do some additional structure prep around the Tobias Lookout. And then we have dropped retardant a few days ago around Baker Point here. Efforts will continue to secure the Baker Point Lookout, and as the fire does keep advancing towards that area, mainly in a southerly spread, but pretty minimal. Coming out here on the southern end where we have a lot of these spot fires, our plan is to kind of go direct as possible along the fire's edge, and then everything on the south side of the main line here will be lined individually. If we can't line them individually, they'll be incorporated kind of in the bigger portion of a line, a little bit more direct. Coming back in here towards Sugarloaf Village, still maintaining that structure defense posture in here, mopping up and securing along the roads. The last few days have given us an opportunity to pick up the fire's edge more direct, so we're looking at more of a direct option in here. We also have some of the road systems prepped in here in case we have to need them for using them for a containment feature. We have those all prepped as well. We'll kind of continue to stick with the more direct option where it's safe to do so for our firefighters. And then coming back in here, back behind Pine Flat into Deer Creek, still mopping up and securing the fire's edge in here. We continue out here to the back end of Hot Springs. We are looking at going direct basically from the switch back here in the Mountain 50 road, coming back up to the upper end of Dead Mule Saddle, and then coming out along the more north of the Mountain 50 road here. We're still got an indirect lines of dozer in hand that'll tie back into Lone Peak. The fire activity on the spot fire was relatively quiet last night. Crews were able to make access into this area. Doesn't mean there's no heat in there, but what they seen last night, it's looking fairly decent. So we'll evaluate the fire activity on the upper end here as it kind of backs in, and then look at opportunity to maybe pick it up more direct, but if not, we'll be positioned to take a line out more indirect below Devil's Thumb. Coming into the upper end here on the North Cold Springs area on the Thule, fire still kind of backing through this area, and then we are looking at a more direct options, but a lot of this area right here is inaccessible to hand crews and or engines, so we do have a more indirect plan to kind of encompass some of this fire out in this area due to the terrain. As you come back in here towards Eagle Creek, everything's still back in a little bit actively in this area, and we're expecting probably a little bit more fire behavior due to the warmer weather. As you come back in out here, back into the 12 road, we still got a containment along the 12 road here, and then everything that was fired off along the 2 1/4 road back into this area of the 212 road is holding securely. We'll continue to mop up and secure that edge for stuff that's on the interior of the containment line. We do have a plan to do some aerial ignition, possibly with a drone. That operation would be looking at filling in this unburnt island here in between the 12 road and the fire's perimeter containment line. Moving it back around, this will continue to be mopped up and secured. There are some heat still along the lines interior that we just want to make sure that those don't come outside of the main line there. Continuing back in out here towards the top end of the Black Mountain Grove, the 94 road, we just continue to maintain that tactical patrol, mop up behind the structures here that are on the south side of the 94 road. Coming back into the 94 road on the lower end here, a lot of this fire in here in some spots is touched into the Castle fire. Definitely a little bit of heat signatures, but nothing we're looking at now that we're seeing is going to give us any troubles at this time. Coming back in here on this L-shaped pattern here, we'll still be monitoring this here. This terrain in this area here is inaccessible, some of it with the hand crews. So we're looking at flying IR flights with drone and helicopters to keep an eye on this piece here. It hasn't moved in a week or so, 2 weeks, so we'll keep eyes on that. And then as you come back into the Western Divide Highway, everything's holding secured along the firing operation that occurred several days ago. As of now, though, we'll be looking at having conversations with Tulare County Sheriffs about the repopulation of communities on the north end of the fire. And then just real quick, we had comments in the comments yesterday about what mop-up was. Basically, it's anything inside the containment line, any heat signatures within the containment line that pose a direct threat to the containment, we send crews in there to go secure those. They basically dig them out and put water on them, or they can dry mop them and they can put them out. For any more information about the fire, you can visit INCIWeb. Other than that, that'll end the update for September 29th. Thank you.